Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrea Pérez-Carro, and I'm the representative in CDTI for the area of space of Cluster 4 of Horizon Europe. My presentation will be about the opportunities in Horizon Europe for the area of Spain. But before that, I will do a brief introduction to the context of space in Europe and in Cluster 4 itself in order to describe the proposal of the program of work for the space, developing the different thematics, describing the activities in this, and also how this is implemented, and introducing a proposal of partnership for the space for 2022. And finally, I will conclude my presentation with a couple of points of conclusion. Space is a strategic space for Europe. It is for most countries in the world. That is why it's fundamental to keep the autonomy and opportunity in this sector, and the support of institutions to research and development to keep the European infrastructures at the state of the art, because other countries invest in our research and development, and we must face the changes in the market. There are several special programs. On the one hand, we have the programs of the ESA, which is an independent agency, which is independent of the European Union, and the countries participate only in the programs that interest them. On the other hand, we have the special program of the European Union, which is based on the spatial strategy for Europe, and it includes 4 components: the component of navigation, Copernicus and Galileo, the observation of the Earth, Copernicus, GovSatcom, and also the surveillance and knowledge of the space, USSSA. This also includes the activities of research and development of Spain, which are a part of Horizon Europe and are a part of this presentation. Within this program, the area of the space is in Pillar 2, Global Challenges and Industrial Competitiveness, which is divided into 6 clusters, among which the space is number 4. Due to the multiple synergies with the digital world and also with industry, but there are also other activities related to the space in other clusters, because the space is a cross-cutting and strategic sector, because it also related to transport, science, environment, primary sector, security, and emergency. Within the Cluster 4 program of work, we have a destination to strategic autonomy in developing, deploying, and using global space-based infrastructures, services, applications, and data based in space. In order to prepare the topics of the space, the Commission consulted, on the one hand, the managers of the spatial program, who indicated the needs of research and development and innovation of the rest. And they consulted some actors of the sector which were within the platform of consultation, which contributed to the creation of the Strategic Agency of Innovation and Research for the Space, or SRIEA. We have a proposal of contents for the destination space within the program of work of Cluster 4, which I've already introduced. These contents are divided into 8 sections or approaches, and each one of them have target achievements. Sections 1 and 2, promotion of competitivity of European systems and access to space, will be based on roadmaps. And these 2 sections, together with the section of other strategic actions, will be defined by the SRIA. But the other 5 sections are more related to the needs of research, development, and innovation of Europe. Now I'm going to explain each one of the sections of the program of work. First, we have the section of the promotion of competitiveness of the spatial systems, extreme to extreme, for the development of systems end-to-end for the observation of the Earth. And then we have 2 areas. On the one hand, one project for the segment land, and the other one that does quantic calculations from the space. And then we want proposals related to system autonomies, including assembling, integration, and testing, and production sensors, radar or optical. And additionally, in this section, we will have two development topics for ecosystems for future spatial ecosystems. One of them for new system concepts, which will include 3 RDI systems, one for the development of concepts of scalable platforms, and other for services in orbit, and the other one for the development of artificial intelligence and Industry 4.0. We have another topic aimed at the development of a demonstrator. And lastly, this section also includes a topic for the development of electrical propulsion technologies, in which we expect the proposals to be addressed to different areas of R&D and I, like architecture or systems of management of flows. The activities included in this section are 11% of the budget for the area of work of the space. Second will include the activities of access to space at 12.3% of the budget, a topic for the reduction of costs, and the second one for proposal of high propulsion, and another one for new systems of spatial transport. Additionally, we include a topic for the development of new transportation systems in the space, including proposals of new services that could be focused on one of these areas: green propulsion, micro launches, intelligent dispersers, and CNT, telemetry, telecontrol, etc. In this section, there will be another topic for the development of land technologies for access to space, including industrial platforms to improve the interoperability. The next section is for the evolution of infrastructures of the component of navigation of the spatial program of the European Union. This is to guarantee the continuity of the 4 services of navigation, the open one, PRS, and the one of search and rescue. And we include new technologies that allow us to be at the same level as other navigation world services and makes the infrastructure more solid. This is 17.7% of the budget for the area of space, but it will be done in collaboration with ESA and also with the European Union Agency for the Space Program, EUSPA. In this 4th section, we include a series of topics aimed at the evolution of the services of Copernico, which is a component of the spatial program of the European Union for the observation of the Earth by satellite. These topics include activities for the improvement of services, improvement and evolution of the services that could be included thanks to the improvements in the infrastructures themselves. A topic for the development of the land surveillance, another one for sea surveillance, another one for atmospheric surveillance, and another one for climate change, and one that includes the service of emergencies and security. We also include 2 topics for development that will aim at increasing the portfolio of Copernicus with other capabilities. One topic would include 2 types of cross-service projects, one for support of the observation in the Arctic and one for the support of the monetization of the SDGs. And then a topic for the monetization of the anthropogenic emissions of CO2. This is 12.1% of the budget for the area of space of the working area of Cluster 4. Section 5 will be for the promotion of the use and evolution of application in the systems Galileo and EGNOS, and the component for the observation of the Earth or system Copernicus, both exploiting the data from both components and also the data independently. This will be carried out by EUSPA, and the topics will be managed. They will include a topic for the promotion of the Green Pact, European Green Pact, provision of green energies, mitigation of natural risks, acceleration of sustainable mobility, and applications related to the concept and the preservation of biodiversity. And it includes another topic for the application of management of crisis and saving, which could include 3 projects for the improvement of risks and disasters. A third topic is for the EGNSS application for digital era. They could include 3 projects: Internet of Things, cybersecurity, smart wearables, and another one. And there will be another topic which will include smart mobility in sea transport, railway transport, and roads. Another topic for the applications where the public sector is the final user. A 6th topic for the promotion of international cooperation, and another topic that includes the development of big data technologies, and a topic for Copernicus applications. The dates have not been published yet. The dates were published this morning. The dates, 3 of these projects are open today, and the other topics will delay their opening to 2022. And this is 14.1% of the budget of the area of space. The next section is more related to the development of the other 2 components of the spatial program. The youngest components, the surveillance and follow-up of the spatial environment, and the SATCOM infrastructure, GovSatcom system. The R&D&I will be public procurements by a consortium of national agencies for the improvement of existing infrastructures for the surveillance and follow-up of another one. The next one will be by the Spatial European Agency, and there will be a section for Safeware. The ESA will manage an activity for increasing the autonomy and strategic autonomy, and another topic managed by EUSPA for the improvement of services that will delay its opening to 2022, and it could include up to 6 projects in areas of interoperability between different satellite systems, interoperability satellite Earth, or the operability of the GovSatcom with the other 3 components of the spatial program. Additionally, in this section, we have included a new initiative that, although it's not a component of the spatial program, it's very interesting in Europe, which are the quantum technologies for space. In this area of work, we propose a topic within the space convocatory, which is quantum gravimetry. This is 17.7% of the budget of the area of space. Section 7 is for the promotion of entrepreneurship to increase the number of SMEs based on the space. We'll have a series of activities within the initiative Cassini, accelerators of business, hackathons, and awards for disruptive innovation, managed by EUSPA. One would be a prize for reusable micro-launchers and one for digital sea applications. We'll also support demonstrations and validation in orbit, and there will be a topic for the promotion of competencies in the spatial sector. The rest of activities will be found in Section 8, other strategic actions, among which we include 2 topics for the development of critical technologies for non-dependency of Europe, including activities aimed at the development of TRF components, generators of power, accelerators of ions, and solutions to replace materials. This section constitutes 5.8% of the budget of the area of space. Therefore, it is the smallest section. A summary of the contents, we have it here. The budget for the area of space in this program of work 2021-2022 is of almost 500 million euros. And here you have the percentage for each one of the sections, although this budget distribution could vary in the 7 years that the program will last. Now, after speaking about the contents, I will tell you about the methods of implementation of the activities. Depending on the implementation mode of the different activities, this will be found in different sections, and they will have different calendars. On the one hand, we have the two traditional calls for the space, the one for 2021 and the one for 2022, which will have opening dates and closing dates that will coincide. In the web of funding and tenders, you will find that the opening is today, the 28th of October, but it seems that this is going to be delayed 1 or 2 days. Pay attention to the dates because the calls for space are opening between today and the next few days. The closing of the call is expected for the 16th of February 2022. And this call includes the 22 traditional topics which are detailed in the section Destination 5 of the work program, and it represents 43% of the budget of the area of space. Depending on the topic, you can select one or more projects among the proposals we receive, depending on the areas of number of areas of R&D and I that will be applied. The projects can correspond to one or several of the expected outcomes. Besides the content, you must take into account other things, such as whether topics are implemented and especially the specific conditions of each topic, which includes the indicative budget, the type of action, and the PRL. The upstream topics in the space and development of technologies are usually RIAs, and they usually have a lowest TR. The specific conditions of eligibility will also be explained in this table. This is very important in the area of space because depending on the topic, there could be restrictions of participation of entities due to security or sovereignty reasons.
For instance, if the collaboration between different actors is promoted, PhDs, SMEs, etc. If synergies or complementarities with other activities can be sought, activities in Horizon 2020 or other activities of the space program. Also, the IPR management, or if a business plan needs to be added. On the other hand, the 57% remaining from the budget will be used for other actions described at the end of the work programs, with R&D activities implemented with other entities, which can be divided on the calls to identify beneficiaries, among which we find activities for the development of improvement of the existing infrastructures for the surveillance of space. In this case, the beneficiaries are national consortia, among which the CDTI is found. There will be public funds that you can see on the public websites of the states, and also other activities managed by external agencies like the ESA, the opportunities of which would be announced on the website with their own schedule, and other activities managed by them like the technological developments for the infrastructures of navigation and GovSatcom, and also demonstrations of validations in orbit. Also, USPA will carry out other activities like Cassini activities or other procurement activities, and a set of topics or grants for the implementation and increasing of the use of the space program, which will be done through two calls. One which was opened just today, and you can find it on the funding tenders website, and a new one which will probably be delayed until 2022. The lists of topics can be found in an annex at the end of the work program. Now I'm going to talk about one of the novelties of Horizon Europe compared to Horizon 2020. And this may happen in 2022. This is the possible partnerships in line with this line of having more ambitious partnerships. The added value of these partnerships lies on including several actors to work together towards a common view and the coordinated implementation of research activities. These partnerships offer inputs to the European Commission for the development of topics that will be included in the proposals of the work programs, which will be subject to open calls. Partnerships are based on memoranda of understanding between the Commission and the partners, which establishes the commitments of each side, the activities proposed, and activities to be implemented. In the case of space, the draft MOU is being debated. Things like the goals, the possible partnerships in this partnership, and the results of this debate will allow the creation of these partnerships, but the activities will start afterwards. Then some associations participated in the drafting of the initial partnership draft. We have SME for Space, ESRE, and others. Those of you interested in participating in this partnership, if you are members of one of these associations, you can contact the contact points here. If you are not members of these associations, then you should directly contact the European Commission. There's contact info on the screen. The initial proposal proposed by this association was based on the SRI. It only included competitiveness, excluding other things. It did not include synergies, for instance. You can find this proposal on the website that you can see in this presentation. Currently, the idea is to limit the scope of that partnership proposal and aligning them better with the budget allocations proposed by the European Commission. To conclude my presentation, just a couple of recommendations. First, in order to be informed about the novelties, those of you who are not subscribed to the distribution list, you can do it. It's a difficult process, so contact me if you have problems. There's also more information on the Horizon Europe website and RSS channels. You can also take a look at the recordings of the Cluster 4 Info Days organized by the European Commission on June 29th and 30th. The workshop on space took place on the first day, and then on November the 10th, there will be another meeting, an online meeting, which is free of access. Those participating in the event can meet other participants through pre-established meetings, the aim of which is to facilitate the creation of consortia in the field of space. We will support you to prepare proposals and different fora. We are part of the NCP team in Spain, and we also carry out other actions. We organize or we help with the preparation of proposals, and we also encourage you to fill in this template that we distribute among European NCPs. Of course, you can contact me if you have any questions. You can see my email on the screen, or even if you have questions about other classes, including a space component, I will put you in contact with the person in charge. As a conclusion to my presentation, a couple of messages. The framework program is the key EU tool for R&D and I activities in space. It will be included in Cluster 4, Digital Industry and Space. There will be a joint work program for these sectors with a common budget, but space will have its own destination within the work program, with activities implemented through calls and other actions, some of which will be subject to the same calendar as the calls, but some of them will not. The selection of contacts will be done according to the space program of the European Union, and there's the possibility of co-program partnership in 2022. This also gives rise to a new structure with 8 blocks, with more weight on the sections of end-to-end systems and access to space, and not so much on science and exploration. We will support you from the CDTI in the whole process to support you or advise you for anything that you might need. Thank you very much.